Look, one of the biggest reasons why people self-sabotage, procrastinate, hold themselves back, play small, don't get for what they want, and end up living miserably, it's not because they're lazy, because they don't work hard enough, because they don't do all the right thing or don't have the knowledge. It's simply because they don't understand how the subconscious mind works. Your subconscious mind is designed to keep you safe, to protect you from whatever it perceives to feel threatening, dangerous, or that can prevent you from getting your main needs met. And once you understand this, you have to just realize that very often what I see in my clients, what I've seen in my own life, is that we have subconscious program patterns that makes us feel unsafe toward the very thing that we want to get, create, manifest, achieve in our life. I'm going to give you some examples to make it really simple. Let's say you crave intimacy, a beautiful, loving relationship, but subconsciously it doesn't feel safe to be intimate with a person, to be vulnerable, to connect, to show who you really are, to be authentic. You are going to block that. Does that make sense? Let's say you want to make more money, you want to be successful, you want to be seen, you want to be on a YouTube channel, you want your TikTok to explode. But subconsciously, you feel afraid of being seen or being rich or having money because you're afraid of rejection or criticism, or that people will leave you, or the pressure that comes with it, or whatever you attach with that. And so once you understand this, you can simply start to reflect and truly be honest with yourself. How do I really feel toward the things that I want? For example, I'm going to give you a story. I had a client who wanted to go to the next level in her business. She was doing okay. She was kind of like, okay, satisfied with where she was, but she felt like, I've been working so much. I've been trying everything to go to the next level, to raise my income, to reach more people, but I feel like I keep on getting stuck at that feeling, at that ceiling. I'm stagnating. I just don't know what to do. I feel like something is holding me back, but I don't know what it is. And this is something I hear often. Something holds me back. I don't know what it is. And that instantly means there's something at the subconscious level that is blocking that person from achieving and creating what it is. And so, long story short, what we discovered is that when she was growing up as a kid, her dad was a sole provider, right? So the dad was working a lot, long hours, not often around. It was just, sacrificing a lot of his time for, the business and so on, so he can provide for his family. And so the meaning that she created when she was young is that, well, if you want to have money, if you want to be successful and so on, you're going to need to sacrifice love. And so subconsciously now what was blocking her is that she felt like if I go to the next level in my business, I'm going to need to sacrifice my own relationship with my family, with my partner, and with the kids that I want to have. And so you see, she valued subconsciously more the love and the friendship and the relationship that she had, that she didn't want to go to the next level because of the meaning that was associated, because of how threatening it felt. It didn't feel safe to go there and to be there. So of course you can see that story was limiting her, but as long as that story energetically was there in the subconscious blueprint, she was keep on sabotaging, keeping herself where it feels safe. And we all keep ourselves where it feels safe, in terms of self-expression, in terms of money, in terms of growth, it doesn't matter, right? If you don't feel safe expressing yourself, being seen, being yourself, if you have a lot of embarrassment, if you have a lot of insecurities, a lot of doubt, a lot of suppressed shame, you're not going to feel safe being in the spotlight, just being yourself, because you're going to be so afraid of triggering those old embarrassing emotions. This is why a lot of nice guys that I work with get really threatened when they make a mistake, when somebody don't like them, when something triggers them, when they feel insecure, or when they feel exposed somehow, or feel like an imposter, or feel like I'm not who I pretend to be, or I'm not perfect, or I'm not whatever they think like they need to be with those expectations. All of this is because they try to keep the expectation high and who they are high, so that they can please others, so they can feel safe and have their needs met. And so you have to understand that as long as they don't feel safe with who they are, meaning I like myself, I am worthy, and making a mistake is okay, and doing all those things and just retraining themselves, retraining their mind to feel like, it is safe to be seen, to be loved, to be worthy, to approve of myself, all those things that created contractions before, right? Once you retrain your mind and you actually tell your subconscious mind, it is safe, it's okay. Like you inject new data, you evolve, you transform, you update the program, whatever you want to call it, right? And so if you are struggling right now, if you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, if you feel like you're sabotaging, procrastinating, and you don't know what's holding you back, pay attention. Notice what is your biggest goal, what is that thing that you want to go toward, right? The thing that you really desire. And notice, really notice when you visualize yourself being there, living that life and so on, what comes up. Not how you want to feel, but how you really feel. Is there any form of resistance? Is there any worry, any fear, anything that creeps in? I remember when I was visualizing making consistent money in my own business, right? I was visualizing, just like making that amount, seeing that amount in my bank account. I was feeling so good and so on. But at some moment I was like, hey, let's go 3 months into the future, like let's do it consistently. Like, let me visualize myself making that kind of amount, but consistently, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months kind of thing. And 3 months down the track in my visualization, like I started to notice straight away like a contraction in my heart. And then I was like focused on the contraction, and my subconscious mind took over. I started to create a drama in the visualization. I saw somebody walking toward me looking angry, asking me for the money, right? So you can see the subconscious projection of feeling like if I make that amount of money consistently, something feels unsafe. And in that example, it was like toward other people. Somebody will come or take from me or try to abuse me, or it gets scary. And so I had to work through that to be able to overcome this and feel safe in consistently having money, consistently making more. But this is something you have to first become aware. And I'm giving you a lot of examples here because this is all about awareness. And so hopefully all those examples can put things to perspective and can help you figure out for yourself if you have this, if you have any form of contraction, if you want something really much for a long time but you don't feel safe to go there, then notice that is exactly where you need to normalize. How would I feel if I was safe in that situation? How would I feel if on every level it was okay with everybody involved and with myself and with the whole world ahead? How would I feel if it was okay? And if you have any form of limiting story about what would people say and how would it work and so on, you can ask yourself, is it really true that if this happened, then people will leave me or not accept of me or not approve? Is it really true? So you're gonna need to shatter that old belief, that old perception, and bring yourself to a space where you start to feel safe, when you realize, when you outgrow that old perspective, when you feel like, it's actually safe. There's actually freedom. There's actually opportunity. It gets to get better and better and better. So this is something you have to condition so you can bring that subconscious alignment with the conscious awareness of what you want to create in your own life. I hope this video makes sense, guys. If you need any help to break through any limitation, if something is holding you back and you don't know what it is, you can book a coaching session with me, and together we can find out what it is and we can get you on the other side. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.